Hi everybody, it's Rexanna with Garden of Herbs, and today I was fixing to make a tincture. This is a sleepy time tincture, and what I thought I would do is just turn the camera on and make it in front of you. This is similar to the tincture that I have made in the past, but I'm just going to put in a couple of more herbs that I have made in the past. And then I'm going to make a larger amount. This is about, I don't know, half a gallon. And it's, usually I just do a quart. And I've been having a little bit of a difficult time sleeping. I made a tincture before and I did not like that tincture, didn't like the taste of it. So I did another tincture and I don't think I made it very strong. And I'm the type of person, I can usually just fall right to sleep, but when I do have trouble sleeping, I need something to really help me relax before I actually fall asleep. So without further ado, I have got 5 different herbs. And if you would like to get a pen and a piece of paper, or if you want to email me, I will be more than glad to share this recipe with you at gardenofherbstx@gmail.com. This is a really good combination. I've studied a couple of these herbs. I already knew about a couple of these herbs. My old tincture, my sleepy time tincture, had the Skullcap. I really like Skullcap, and Skullcap does really good with me. And I also did some cinnamon with the chamomile, and Skullcap and chamomile tea with a little bit of cinnamon. Sometimes I don't put cinnamon in my tea, but it is really good to help me relax in the evening. I can just sometimes use chamomile to help me relax. But I made it into a tincture because I don't always drink tea sometimes if I'm getting ready to go to go to bed because of getting up and going to the bathroom all night. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using the parts method, which you can use a half a cup or you can use a quarter of a cup. I use the parts method because you can scale it down, or you can use a pint jar, you can use a quart jar, or you can use a half gallon like I'm going to. But I'm going to be using some cinnamon granulars, and I'm also going to be using valerian root. When you're using a root, you want to be using a higher concentration on your alcohol. We'll get to that in just a minute. So you're going to be using 5 different herbs. So you want to get a little bit bigger jar, even if you're using a smaller, like I'm using a quarter of a cup, because you want plenty of room for your herbs to move around. The one thing that we're going to be using that's different, and we'll start with our heavier leaves first. So we'll start with our Skullcap, and I'm going to just do 2 Skullcap. Skullcap is a very good, it's a sedative, and it smells really good. I love the smell. I smell like it's green, it's fresh. It's a very good sedative. People that have seizure disorders, and I'm one of those people, I have seizure disorders. I'm just going to put 2 in there. I might even actually put 3 because it is very good as far as helping you get to sleep. Okay, this is one that I really enjoy using because it does not affect me in any shape, form, or fashion. I can get up in the middle of the night, go to the bathroom. It doesn't make me feel druggy in any shape, form, or fashion. The next one we're going to be using is Valerian. Okay, Valerian is a root, and that's 1. And I'm only going to use 1. And the reason, and I like the smell of valerian. I don't know why. I hear some people say that it smells really bad. I get these herbs also from Starwest Botanicals. I keep this in a bag because it seals really good. This is a Mylar bag. And this has been in my refrigerator. You can keep your herbs and your roots in your refrigerator if you have room. You can even keep them in your freezer. And they will stay fresh longer. And then what I like to do, and this is purely up to you, the individual, these are cinnamon granulars. It's not cinnamon powder, although, and I just use one of these. This smells so heavenly to me. I'm a cinnamon lover. It smells so good. Now for me, I could use 2 of these real easily, but I don't want it to be I don't want it to be like overpowered. Excuse my dog. He's in there and he barks when the cars go by, some of them that are trucks. This right here is just your regular cinnamon, organic cinnamon. This here helps with people that may have a tendency to have blood pressure or high like a diabetes. If I have diabetes running on both sides of my family, and I don't have that problem. I don't have any kind of blood sugar issues whatsoever, but your blood pressure and your diabetes, this is what that's good for. But I love the smell of it, and so I'm gonna put that in there, and it will help flavor everything as well. Now we're gonna go to the hops. Hops is really good for the central nervous system, and I'm gonna do 1, and I'm gonna do 2, and I'm gonna do 3, because this here will help you stay asleep and relaxed. Just simply because of the fact that, you know, I didn't use this before. This has a really good flavor, and well, it's bitter. It's not really got like a really great flavor, but it's got a really good smell. And this is kind of like a leaf and a flower. When I thought, why didn't I use this before? Because for people that have like anxiety and have a hard time relaxing and getting unwound and need to de-stress, this hops is perfect for that. So that's why I put 3 of them, 3 parts in here. I haven't labeled this yet. I bought this from Starwest Botanicals as well. And I have this big huge bag over here. And this is completely organic. This is like the rest of the bag. I mean, they give you a lot for your money. It is totally worth it. So still, I mean, look, that's still quite a bit, right? So we have already that much, 3 and 3, and then just 1 part of the other 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put 2 parts of the chamomile, because the chamomile is a flower and it is really very relaxing. I love chamomile. I love the smell of chamomile. It is just such an awesome herb. I mean, to me, I feel like every time I just drink chamomile tea with honey in it, just those 2 things, chamomile and honey, it just tastes so good. I'm just like, I just sit here and drink. I could drink like 4 or 5 cups of chamomile by itself. And I'm thinking to myself, I really should not sit here and drink all this chamomile tea. But sometimes when something tastes that good, you're like, well, okay. And then you're right, okay, I better go to bed, you know. But, okay. So my jar is not quite half full, but just about half full. So what we're gonna do now is, because we have a root, we want the highest concentration that you can, like I normally do about 80 proof or 100 proof. And I've got just a little bit of 100 proof, which is 50-50. And I'm just going to go ahead and finish that because I don't have that much left. But you want something that's going to be really high in concentration. And I knew I was going to need something that's, and I hate using Everclear. I like just regular vodka, but they didn't have anything. So I went ahead and got this 190 proof Everclear because that's all they had. So I'm going to be using Everclear, and it's okay to put that on top of your vodka, even though I hate it. But you're going to need this because of the fact that you got to pull the medicinal properties out of your root. And Valerian root is what you're having to pull the medicinal property out of. And I'm going to stop right there. It's another reason why I use cinnamon. Cinnamon is gonna, I mean, Everclear is pretty much tasteless and odorless. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna give it a good shake. With the hops and the chamomile, it's gonna absorb a lot of this. But I'm pretty sure that right there, see how your roots or your leaves are all right up there, your flowers and your leaves. When you give it a good shake, it looks like you're, I always tell everybody when you're making a tincture, put your lid on, shake it up really good because it looks like, oh, it's filled up. It looks like it's totally filled up. Put your lid on and look. It's not really, there's still a lot that you can still put in here. It absorbs it, like drinks it up really fast, but look, see how, that's not really completely, it's, you still got a lot more that you can pour in here. And I've come back the next day and it seems like all the water has gone into the plant matter, and you still have to pour alcohol in here the next day because your like if it's 80 proof, your water's gone all in there and your alcohol's kind of separated over to the side and your water's gone into your plant matter because this is dried herbs. This is not fresh herbs. It doesn't do it that bad if it's fresh plant matter, but see, this is getting a little bit better, but you'll be surprised. You're like, I didn't know I had to use that much alcohol, but it's when it's like an 80 proof or 100 proof, it's not all alcohol, it's water and alcohol mixed together. So, okay, it's getting better. So what you have there is you have a little bit better tincture. It's gonna tincture now. There you go. That's why you gotta shake it up. And the reason you want to put it in the sun is because the sun is going to work to kind of like tincture it. If you put it in the dark, I hear people say that all the time, you need to put it in the dark. Well, the sun is what really helps it to tincture. And so we're going to pour just a little bit more in here. That's why I'm using this big old jar, because right now you want to fill it up as close, not all the way to the top here, because you need a little bit of room for it to, you know, shake and absorb. Now this is going to be one of those tinctures that you can slowly fall asleep. It's not going to take you, my other one was taking me a long time to fall asleep. So this one won't take that long for me to fall asleep. And it's not going to keep you asleep to where you can't wake up. But if you are not used to tinctures, if you are not used to you know, sleepy teas or anything like that, you might not want to start out with this one. You might want to get to something like, start out with sleepy teas first and then work your way up to this, because this is going to be, like I said, you want to start out with Skullcap, or you might want to start out with something that's calming, because somebody who hasn't started out with anything like this first, you don't want to dive in, because this has 2 different sedatives in it, and you want to start out with something slow first. I've already been taking tinctures for sleepy time tinctures. I've already been taking this. This has Valerian and this has Skullcap in it. And you might not want to start out with that. You might want to start out with something that's a little bit more calming, like lavender and something like chamomile, and see if that, some people are fine with just that. I love it, but I don't go down with that. I mean, it helps me to relax. So anyway, this is something that's a little bit more has a little bit more potency to it, but it's very good to help you relax and to go to sleep and stay asleep. Some people can do this and then they're still waking up in the middle of the night. So that's what I'm saying. This is an upgrade from what I was doing. And you know, some women that are having trouble with their hormones, they're into essential oils and so forth and so on. And I'll be doing a essential oil video later that will go in conjunction with this. So anyway, that's all for now. I will be listing some stuff in the description that goes with this. I was just doing this. You want to wait 4 to 6 weeks. Put this in the window sill, and please label all your tinctures. This is Rexanna with Garden of Herbs. Y'all have a great day. Bye for now. I'll see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe.